guys, and welcome back to Opal&Mint. I'm Ashley. This intro is like really close and it's going to be super quick, but I want to go ahead and get into the swatching of these. But today we're going through my entire 31 Purplefish collection. I'm going to arrange them in a manner that makes sense for me, and I'm going to swatch them out with all the names so I know where they are in the palette, and it is a lot easier for me to paint with them, especially on camera. So this is going to be, well, this is going to be a two-part video because I have an embarrassing, I'm talking with my hands a lot, I'm sorry. I have an embarrassing amount of 31 Purplefish paints, so this is going to be a two-part video because I have more of these than I do in my Daniel Smith palette. So let's go ahead, let's not waste any more time, let's turn that camera around and start swatching these beautiful paints. If you, oh, hold on, before that, I'm so sorry. If you haven't heard of 31 Purplefish, they are a handmade paint company. I don't know where they're, I think they're in the US, I don't know where, but this is a one-woman show. She makes these colors weekly, she makes the paint herself, and it's not a company that you can just go online and buy them anytime. She does paint drops usually on Fridays. Check her Instagram, usually around 10 a.m. I'm not sure which time zone that is, but around 10 a.m. Friday mornings, she drops some paint colors. You get them within the hour because they get sold out. Like, you have to set a reminder to get these paints. But as you will see in these swatches, they are worth it. So the best way to get a hold of them, follow the Instagram. She'll show what colors are coming out that Friday during the week. And then just check that website as soon as it goes live. Anyways, let's go ahead, turn the camera around, and start swatching these gorgeous paints. All right, so I haven't done an intro or anything, so I don't know what I've said yet, but this is going to probably be at least a two-part video because I have a lot of paint. But here are swatches of the new colors that I got in from 31 Purplefish. They're over here. And here's my existing 31 Purplefish palette. So I don't have a swatch card, a swatch of this palette, so I don't know what colors are what. And I keep adding new paints and they just like keep getting put down here. So I'm going to take all of these out. I'm going to arrange them in a way that I like, and then we're going to swatch them all so I have the names in the order that they are in the palette. So buckle up. This is going to be a very long one because I'm going to swatch these gorgeous colors out, but it's going to be worth it in the end because I will be able to see what I have from 31 Purplefish and be able to tell you the names of them. I have probably 70 to 80 different pans of paint from 31 Purplefish. I know it's excessive, and I don't even want to think about how much that is because that's a lot of money. But I've accumulated them over time. Also, I do have some duplicates. So when there's a color I really like, I will buy two of them when I originally buy it, because these paints you can't just get. She does paint drops and she does different colors all the time. So you can't just go to the website, and if I run out of a color, I can't just buy it again. So if it's a color I really like, I've learned to buy two, because this one right here is one of my all-time favorites. It's Strawberry Peach. And when I first started using these, I was using it up and I'm like, I can't get it again. So if there's a color I really like on the paint drops, if I can, I will snag two of them. So what I'm going to do is take out the duplicates and put them aside, so when I run out, I can replenish it. But it's not taking up space because I have more to add, a lot more to add to this palette. So I'm going to just speed through the process of me taking them all out and ordering them, because you don't really need to see that. It's the swatching you're going to want to see. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'll speed through that, and then we will start swatching these. Okay, so I have ordered these, sorted them in the order I would like for them to be in the palette. There is this one that the reason it's not in here is because I don't think that this is the right name. So these pans or these paints can come out really easily. For some reason, this specific brand of paint, one, they don't stick in the pan, but two, they break very easily. You can see like on this one, it shattered and I kind of glued it back together with water. These paints I have to be very careful with. So I keep them in this and I keep it laying flat. I don't travel with these because I don't want to risk ruining them. Oh, I missed two. Oh no, there's two over here. I'll have to add those in. But anyways, at one point I knocked the whole thing over, fell face down. And so a lot of the paints, or some of them, maybe not a lot, but some of them came out of the tins and I was having to match them back up. And I have no idea how this happened, but this one says it's pink champagne. And this is definitely not pink champagne. So I do want to put this in here. I just don't know what the name of it is. I don't really think I'm going to be able to know the name of it. So, but I wanted to make sure I didn't write that name on the swatch because I don't really know. There was one other one, I think it was this one. It says Purple Fog. And I was like, this one's not purple, but it may separate. It looks like it separates into purple. So that one's probably right. But this one, I don't think is right. Let me see where these two could go. These are not in the perfect order of what I would normally do. I go yellow to orange to red to pink. And so my pinks go from warm to cool. And then we go purples, warm to cool into blues. Again, warm to cool into greens. Anyway, a lot of these paints separate into colors that don't look like they are in the pan. Like this one's probably more purple than it is blue. But so this is not going to be a perfect order, but it's going to be the order that I'm putting them in. And then the ones that are up here are the ones I have duplicates of. As I go through, I may find other duplicates, but I think I got all the duplicates. There's two. One's called Cheery Pink and one's Cheerful Pink. I don't know if those are the exact same or not. We'll see. But let me I feel like this one could go right next to this one. So we're going to push this down. And then we have this one. Oh, that's that one. This one, I think we'll put it here. There we go. Okay. And I'm hoping that looks like those will fit. And then I have this one more. So we'll see if this one squishes in somewhere. But okay, we're going to go ahead and start swatching. I'm going to scoot these over. We're going to get through as many as we can in this video. And then we're going to have a part 2. I don't know if it'll be next week or when, but we will move into a part 2. So if I can just go scooch, 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 scooch. All right, so for swatching, I'm going to be using my Tintoretto size 0 mop. I'm using this one specifically because it is a mop brush and it holds a lot of water. And since these are granulating paints, the more water, the more they're going to kind of separate. And as always in this book, I do my stone swatches. These are inspired by Natasha Newton. Some of them do have a little bit of other color on top, so I am going to make sure I clean this off and get a nice clean swatch. And some of these I may not be able to read the name on. So we're going to do the best that we can. Like this one, the name's pretty much gone, but I do know, it starts with an H, so I do know this is Honeybee. I remember this one quite well. And I don't have many yellows, and I know that I had a Honeybee. So, okay, well, let's do this. So, first up is Honeybee, and these swatches are going to be a little bit different than my normal because I don't have pigment information and light fast rating. Keep in mind, these are a handmade paint. One woman does this. She's not a, huge company that has a bunch of workers or anything. She makes these paints one batch at a time. And again, she doesn't just have a line of paints that's always available. She makes colors each week that she wants to. So this is a very different kind of brand. And it's one that I just really, really love. So, all right. First up is Honeybee. And as I swatch them, I'm going to put them in the palette and write the name so we can finally be organized with my 31 Purplefish. This one is called Indian Yellow. It's a beautiful, rich yellow. There's always somebody mowing in this neighborhood. All right, then we have one more yellow. Most of the colors I have are pinks, purples, and blues, and greens. This one's called, oh, interesting, Mustard Cobalt. It's different. This is one that shattered, but she actually sells a glue that when you get your pans, you can put a dot of the glue underneath it. Or if it shatters to help glue it. I think it's basically just glycerin, but I'm not sure. I wonder why this is called Mustard Cobalt. Pretty. They do take a little bit more time to activate than what I normally like. So like my Daniel Smiths activate immediately. Like they're so quick, most of them. They vary by color. For these, it does not bother me. A lot of times I'll just put a drop of water on them before I start painting. I'm sorry if you can hear the lawn mower across the street. Excited to be able to have these swatched out. Okay, next up is a brand new one for me. You can tell because look at that surface. This one is called Watermelon Kiss. So this one came in the mail yesterday, but you'll see that they don't take forever to activate, but like, see, it's still pretty light. They do take a little bit just for that water to reactivate that paint. So, but man, are they the most glorious granulating paints. We haven't gotten into the really granulating ones yet. The ones that separate and surprise you, it just, oh. Okay. Try to put a little bit more pigment down here. I'm gonna lift a little bit here. Again, this one is called Watermelon Kiss. I'm learning how to write from all different angles without having to turn the paper because I do these swatches. All right, next up is called Strawberry Jam. I love the pinks from this line. All right. Look at that beautiful pink. Strawberry Jam. That is a beautiful color. Again, the magic happens with these once they dry. And if you push a little water around, it'll help separate those pigments. Beautiful. Next up, this one has not been used much. Oh, this is a brand new one, that's why. This one is Cheerful Pink. So I have Cheerful, which is new, and then I have one that's Cheery, which is an older one. And I wonder if they're the same color or very, very similar, but we shall see. This one's actually quite bright. It's so pretty. I love seeing the difference between what they look like in the pan and then on the paper. Whoops, I got a drop of it in that. It looks like strawberry lemonade now. Man, the separation on that yellow though, oh, that's beautiful. It's also really nice when I'm like painting to be able to look and see the swatches. If you don't swatch out your palettes, I highly recommend it, because if I were just looking at these pans and I wanted a really separating yellow, I wouldn't know if I especially with this many of them, I would be able to look at it and be like, man, I want to use that. Okay, again, this one's Cheerful Pink. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's scooch this up a little. So the next one is Cheery Pink. Let's see. I think it's going to be different. Oh, maybe. Those are, I don't know. They might be similar. And again, I never know until they're dry exactly what they're going to look like. So those could potentially be the same color. So I may have two in here, but man, that Watermelon Kiss. Oh, watching them dry is so much fun. Okay. Cheerful and Cheery. And it could be that she had to change a pigment, so it's very similar color, but had to change the name because the pigment changed. This one, if I'm remembering correctly, is also very beautiful. This is called Pink Salt. Oh, look at that color. Yeah, Pink Salt is one of my favorites. Oh, that's pretty. Add a little bit of water. These are going to be the best swatches ever. All right, next up, we got a deep pink, and this one is called, I think it's Sushi Pink. I can't tell. It kind of looks like S-U-I-H-I. What is this? I have two of these, I think. So, S-U-I-N-I Pink. S-U-I-N-I. Or I don't really know. There, does that help? I'm gonna write S-U-I-N-I. I don't know what that means or what if that's correct, but that's what I'm gonna put because that's what I think it says. They are handwritten, so they're not always the easiest to write or read, but that's okay. All right, let's see what this one looks like. Oh, that's so pretty. Really get some scrubbed on here. I wonder if I can look back on like her Instagram posts to see color names. This one I bought quite a while ago, so it might be harder to find, but man, that's a pretty pink. Push a little water in. Okay, S-U-I-N-I. If you have any suggestions of some of these names that you think I might have gotten wrong, please let me know so I can correct it on my swatches. All right, my favorite, all-time favorite color from this brand is Strawberry Peach. If you ever see her come out with this one again, grab it and grab me one. I need more of this. This is such a beautiful, this is not the same as Bork's Parrot Pink, but it gives me the same joy and same vibes as Bork's Parrot Pink. The Parrot Pink is much brighter, but this has a little bit of that, like, I don't know, neonness to it. Especially when it's dry. You'll have to see what I'm talking about once it's dry. It's just such a magical color. And I've used so much of it. I need more. Okay. So again, that one is Strawberry Peach. Could not get tired. I could swatch these all day. I mean, it probably is going to take me all day, but oh, they're just so pretty. This one is Peaches and Cream. A nice pastel-y one. She does have some that are more opaque, and I think this is one of them. There's one that's called Opaque Lavender, but I just love the color range that she comes out with. All right, look at this color. Peaches and Cream. Man, all the flowers you could paint with all these pinks. I could use just these in my watercolor blooms episodes every week and be completely happy because so many beautiful colors. And look at that. Do you see the separation there? You can see that yellowy orange underneath. Peaches and Cream. That is stunning. Beautiful. All right, next color. Those two might actually be slightly different. Those Cheery and Cheerful. Next one is called Neon Peony. Let's see what you look like. Beautiful. Yeah, she does pink very well. And also with as many as I have, they're different. Like they're so unique and just gorgeous. I love working with professional paint brands, but like using my Daniel Smiths and my Holbeins and Schmincke, but there's also something so special about using handmade watercolors. All right, so that was Neon Peony. All right, next color is Blush Cherry. Okay. Look at that color. That one reactivated quite quickly. That is a beautiful color. Fit two more on this page. We have Seashell. This is a beautiful muted pink. Very, very muted dusty pink, but oh, stunning. Ready for this? Look at that. It's vintage vibes. It is. Oh, I love painting some muted vintage flowers like this. So beautiful. And this is one of the ones that's a little bit more opaque. All right, again, this one was called Seashell. All right, one more on this page and then we're gonna have to try and scoot things over. I have two colors that are, I almost said magnetic, metallic. And this is from my very first order that I ordered from 31 Purplefish. And I haven't really seen any metallic since. This one's called Rad Rose, perhaps. The metallics take quite a while to reactivate. So I went ahead and put a drop on this other one. I don't dislike the metallics. However, I don't think that they shine, no pun intended there, quite as well as the granulating paints. I think where she really knocks it out of the park is the granulating ones. These take quite a while to reactivate and a lot of water. They're extremely thirsty, which metallics in general are, so I'm not faulting it for that. However, they're just not quite as special as her granulating paints. There's definitely other brands I would go to for shimmers. And again, she doesn't really have many of these anyways, but there's some wonderful brands on Etsy that have some beautiful shimmers. Emily Grace is one. We're actually working with Emily Grace on a collaboration, so that will be coming soon. But like this is a beautiful light wash of pink shimmer. So it would be a good topper, but it's definitely not one that would be used on its own. But let me see if I can get a little bit more pigment in one side of this. So it is beautiful, but definitely not one that I reach for that much. Okay, so Rad Rose. All right, I've got to see if I can scoot all this over. It might be easier to move the camera. Okay, so next up is the other metallic that I own. And this one is called Pink Crystal. So I've been letting this one set for a bit. And I like this one more than Rad Rose. I generally like lighter metallics anyways, but I feel like this one has a little bit more impact. And it's a little more opaque of a color. So again, this is pink crystal. The color of my water right now is so pretty. It's a very pretty peachy color. All right, so the next color is one that is new to my collection. I just got this one in. This is Dusty Pink. This is another beautiful vintage one. So this with the seashell together would make a beautiful combination. But look at this. Oh my goodness. You could even top a little bit of pink crystal on top of the seashell in this. That would be a beautiful, if you do some like vintage looking roses with these. Oh, that'd be beautiful. If you want to see me use these in more videos, let me know, because I enjoy using them. I don't always use them because, Dusty Pink, because I know that they're more difficult to get, and I know you can't just go out and get the same color I have because of the way that she launches them, but they're just so much fun. Okay, next up is Marshmallow Pink, and this one is beautiful. I'm going to say that about, I don't think I have one I don't think is beautiful. They're all gorgeous. This might be a 3-part video. Not gonna lie, because this is gonna be a lot of swatches for even a 2-part video. Okay, that was Marshmallow Pink. We're still in the pinks. I love it. We're about to, I said morph. We're about to go into the purples. This one is Soft Orchid. Look at all those cracks. That one's about to shatter. I'm going to put a drop of water in the pan and stick that in there. It also helps if you like spray these down or, you know, wet them every once in a while to help keep them from cracking so much, but they are worth the maintenance. Or if you just use them all the time, you know, they would stay wet. They don't need to stay wet necessarily, but just not too dried out. Okay, again, this one is called Soft Orchid. Oh, that's beautiful. To have so many pinks be this different. I don't think I've ever swatched my 31 Purplefish just all side by side like this. I usually swatch them when I get them in to see them, but having them all in a row is going to be really helpful. All right, next up is Lady Lavender. Did you see that? Ooh, so pretty. All right, what color did I say this was? Lady Lavender. Oh my gosh, look at that. How does she get so many in different colors? She comes out with new colors every single week. Look at that. That one is nice and opaque. Let's do some lifting. See it. Oh my gosh, that marshmallow pink is just okay. Gorgeous. All right, next up is Dirty Pink. I'm excited. The ones that say haze or dirty in them, they usually granulate into such beautiful colors. They usually are the ones that granulate the most and are the ones that are most surprising. So I'm curious to see what Dirty Pink looks like. One of my favorites from hers is also called Dirty Algae. Oh my gosh, that green is so beautiful. Yeah, I can already tell this one's gonna separate quite nicely. All right, whoops, moving, oh no, down. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty, sorry. Distracted by the separations. Okay, let me clean this one off. It's got some green on top of it. You are Chrome Orchid. It's an interesting name. Oh my gosh, that dirty pink is so pretty. All right, Chrome Orchid. So this one's a little bit more of like a muted dusty color again. This one's taking a little bit more to reactivate. It might just be this one's also just a lighter color in general, but it does feel like it's soaking up a lot of that water. So you see, yeah, that is so soft and beautiful. Gorgeous, darling. All right, this next one I think is one from the very first order I made. It's called Sugar Plum. Yeah, this is one of the first ones I had from 31 Purplefish. Sugar Plum. Another muted purple. This one is richly pigmented. This one activated quite quickly. Okay, so we'll let that do its thing. Sugar Plum. Once we get through this page, I will go back and show you some of these ones that have dried, and you'll see why Strawberry Peach is one of my favorites. Okay, this one is, called Vintage Blush. Now, she has quarter pans, and whenever a color I want gets sold out before I get to it, in a half pan, I will buy 2 quarter pans usually, and I have 2 of this one. This other quarter pan got busted and I redid it, but I'm just going to put one of them in the palette. But here is Vintage Blush. This one's similar to Dusty Pink, but it is a little bit different. Yeah, have a nice palette of these dusty colors. All right, we are moving on to purple. First one up is Opaque Lavender. And again, this is one of the opaque colors. It's such a beautiful, soft lavender color. And once it is activated, it does act a lot like a gouache with the opacity. Not quite gouache, but it is close. You can get it pretty opaque. See if I can lift a little bit on this end. Okay, so Opaque Lavender. Right, the next one is just lavender. So we have Opaque Lavender and then we have lavender. Let's see what the difference is. This one's definitely taking longer to activate and is lighter. Yeah, much lighter than the other one. My goodness, I am seeing some favorites emerge in some of these that are drying. Okay, next is, the name is pretty much gone. It's something lavender. It looks like it says Titan, so like titanium lavender. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit more, yeah, oh my gosh. Holy cow, that is very opaque. A little deeper and very opaque. That is a beautiful color. Yeah, that one didn't take much to activate. Let me see if I can lift a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Oh, this one looks like it's going to separate with some blue. Gorgeous. All right, moving right along. We got another purple. This one is Cobalt Lavender. Can you tell that I like pinks and purples? I mean, when you paint flowers as much as I do, how can you not like pinks and purples? This one I think is going to separate. Oh, yes. This one's going to have blue and pink separations like crazy. Alrighty, look at that. This one would be a great one for my painting in the rain painting that I do. If you haven't seen that, I've done like a short and a reel on it. Can't remember if I've actually done that in a video. I did do that in a watercolor blooms, like I simulated it. I didn't actually paint in the rain. Oh my gosh, this one's beautiful. Cobalt lavender. It's already separating this much. When it's dry, it's gonna be stunning. Holy cow. Okay, 2 more on this page, and then I'm gonna have to dry these before we move on to the next page. But next is Lunar Rose. Looks like this one probably should have been moved up into the pinks, but that's okay. I am leaving the order the way it is. Oh, it kind of fits here. It is a little bit more pink, but it'll work. Yeah, ones that are called Lunar, Haze, and Dirty, those usually are good ones to get. So let's see what this one does. Lunar Rose. Right, last one on this page is gonna be Rose Blush. Nope, Raspberry Blush. Raspberry Blush. Again, this one sounds like it's gonna be a little bit more pink, but that's okay. I think actually this is one of the other ones that was in my first order. I had the Sugar Plum and Raspberry Blush. Yeah, these were 2 that I had in my original order. And I didn't fall in love with 31 Purplefish, like head over heels in love, until my second order. The first ones I got were not like, wow. They didn't blow me off my feet, you know. They're beautiful. But there's some, like, oh my gosh, this cobalt lab. Some that definitely outshine the ones I originally got. Okay, again, this one's Raspberry Blush. Okay, so I've got to let all these dry before I go on to the next page. My battery's flashing as well. But we are going to continue on in this video. I want to keep going because we have quite a bit left. So what I'm going to do is we'll probably do another page for this part 1, and then we will continue in part 2. So let me let these dry, and we will maybe do one more page. Okay, so I've been chilling, trying to let these dry naturally. I don't want to dry them with a dryer because I feel like they separate and do their most when you don't dry them. So let me show you some of the ones that are dry though. Some of these colors are just so beautiful. Pink Salt, Cherry Pink. These definitely look like they could be different colors. But again, this Strawberry Peach and the Peaches and Cream, those are both so beautiful. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice or not, but those bright pink pigments that settle, so pretty. Blush Cherry, even the seashell is kind of separating some. Moving over here, this entire page is gorgeous. There's still some wet spots, but Marshmallow Pink, glorious. You can see that it's still a little bit wet, but Dirty Pink, Soft Orchid, the Chrome Orchid, like these are so beautiful. Sugar Plum has some nice granulation happening. And then the Cobalt Lavender. Again, I don't want to dry this because I want to see how this does on its own. Lunar Rose, these 2. Oh, so I'm going to continue to let those dry a little bit of time. I'm going to let them dry, then we're going to move on. But I wanted to show you some of these dry because they're glorious. All right, so it took quite a while for some of these to dry. I had quite a bit of water, especially like this one. But, oh, so gorgeous. So now we can finally turn the page and continue. I have about 30 minutes before I have to leave to get my son. So I'm going to get through as many as I can, and then we will come back for a part 2. But let's do this. So our next color is Magenta Grape. This one perhaps should have been back with the pinks as well, but let's see what, oops, this one looks like. It's gonna be maybe the last one before we get into blues. I can't tell. Some of them are hard to tell in the pan because they're so dark. But that is a beautiful color. Kind of tap in some darker pigment here. Oh, this is the Sushi Grape one, or Suni or whatever. I have 3 of these. How? That looks different. Oh, there's purple and there's grape. Suini. S-U-I-N-I. So I had that purple and then grape. Okay, let's see what this one looks like. I need to know what S-U-I-N-I is. Does anybody know? Anyway, this looks very purple. Oh my word, look at this. Holy cow, that's beautiful. That's pretty. Very, very pretty. I would really like to know what this word is, but again, it looks like S-U-I-N-I. Please let me know if you know, because I don't. Looks like we have 3 more purples. All right, so this was it. This one's a brand new one to me. This one is called Violet Haze. Look at that color. It's pretty. All right, we're gonna do Lunar Glow next. I think this one is purple, if my memory is correct. Yeah, I'm going back and forth between Warms and Cools purple, but it's okay. Holy cow, this is beautiful. That is so pretty. I feel like, so this one's an older one. The camera's shaking too much for me to be talking right now. I feel like it looks different than the Lunar Glow that I just got. It is. Maybe I need both of them. Okay, so this is a Lunar Glow that I've had for a while. And I just bought another Lunar Glow and it looks like a completely different color based on the swatch I did on other paper. So I'm gonna put both of these in here. And again, it's possible that she used different pigments, or if it just looks that different on different kinds of paper, I don't know. But we're gonna see, yeah, see this one's much more muted and this one's like more red toned. So interesting. They're both called Lunar Glow. This one right here is the new Lunar Glow that I just got in the mail. So I'm gonna put them both in the palette because they look very different to me. So, whoops. If you see any spots where the paint doesn't look like it's sticking to the paper, my hands have touched the paper quite a bit, and so oils from the hands can make it to where the watercolor doesn't stick as well. So don't touch your papers a whole lot. But I also just put on sunscreen, so I had like oily stuff on my hand and then touched the paper, so my bad. Okay, I'm gonna put Lunar Glow and then write new, because it is a newer one. Next, because those are different colors. Next is Purple Crush. See what purple, oh, I'm very sorry I keep bumping the camera and making it shake. I'm trying to get it still. When you have a camera in between you and your paper, it's really hard not to bump it. Okay, so Purple Crush. Very pretty. Very blue toned. Let's see how it separates though. Yeah, looks like it's gonna separate nicely. All right, let's get a few more in before we break for the video and do a part 2. This one is called Moonshine. And I do have 2 of this. I bought 2 when I got this one. This one is a blue, so we are kind of moving into our blue colors now. Hopefully I didn't miss any purples. Holy cow, that's pretty. This is not the kind of blue I thought it was. This should be further down in my row, but that's okay. Darn it, I'm touching the lens with my... Oh shoot, oh shoot. No. Well, that's great. I just made a big mess. So the camera's so low, I hit it with my brush and then it shoved my brush into my other swatch and I just made a big mess. So, oh crud. And then I stuck my cloth on my paints. I am just a disaster right now. I'm gonna try to fix this swatch, see what I can do. We're good. Everything is awesome. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more, just fill out this row and then we're going to break. Next is another haze. It looks like it says Poser Haze. Let's see what this color looks like. From the pan, sometimes it's really hard to tell. This looked like it was gonna be blue. Now it might be kind of purple. I'm not sure. It looks like this is a purple, so forgive me on the order of these. Oh, that's beautiful though. Yeah, definitely purple, but that is stunning. It's okay, as long as I have the swatches and I know the order of it, they don't have to be in perfect color order. As long as I can tell them what they are because of my swatches. Beautiful. Okay, so again, I think this says Poser, P-O-S-E-R, Haze. Okay, 1 more. We have Indigo Earth. Oh, that sounds like it's gonna be beautiful. Sounds like it's gonna be a really rich, deep blue. And then again, we'll come back. Part 2 is gonna have so much blue and green. You're not gonna wanna miss that one because, oh, they're so pretty. All right, Indigo Earth. Oh, that is not what I expected at all because it says indigo. This is in the complete wrong spot, but holy cow. I'm curious to see what it separates. It looks like it might separate into green. And I'm assuming there's got to be some blue in there because of the indigo, but I didn't even know I had this color. It's very deep. See if we can lift and see what colors lie beneath. Wow, yeah, it's almost black. I'm curious to see how that one settles. So, Indigo Earth, that's what it's called. All right, but that's gonna be it for part 1. Come back, I'm assuming I'm gonna post this next week. So if this is up on a Wednesday, it'll be up the following Wednesday, I'm assuming. But yeah, we'll get to see more of these beautiful 31 purple fish. And let me know if you own any 31 purple fish and if you have some favorite colors. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Goodbye, Dietrich. Are you focused on me or the sloth?